Hey, everybody, quick disclaimer. The views and opinions you're about to hear are those of the hosts and guests alone. They don't represent any police department, agency, sponsor, or employer. Two Cops, One Donut isn't responsible for anything said by guests or for any videos, clips, or content shown during the live stream. This show is intended for adult audiences only. We cover real incidents, we show graphic and sometimes disturbing footage, and we don't shy away from strong language or adult conversations. There may or may not also be alcohol involved. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Everything you hear or see on the show is for entertainment and educational purposes. It is not legal advice, and it's not tactical instruction, and it shouldn't be used for such. By continuing to watch, you're telling us that you understand, you accept all of this. All right, now let's get into it. All right, welcome back. Two Cops, One Donut, Impromptu Live. I had some downtime, and I decided I am going to jump on a live and talk about two cool topics that people have been sending me. And you know what? I decided it's daytime out. I'm going to turn all the lights on in the studio so you get kind of a slightly different look. It's not so dark and ominous in the typical podcast style look I feel like everybody kind of goes into, like, maybe it's just a cop and military world, but it's always that dark look. And then you got like the spotlight hitting you from one angle, but this whole side of your face, just a big shadow. And I've been doing that forever. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to change it up a little bit and see if people want to see the full ugly. So it is what it is. Drinking a little bit of Gorilla Mind in my Axon cup that I got at a conference out there a long time ago. And really not even a long time ago, less than a year, but it's my favorite cup because that thing, you can't spill it. Can't spill it. And I am accident prone. I knock my drinks over all the time. I can't remember the name of the company that the cup's actually made by. There's a big H on it. Let me see what it says on the bottom here. I need some light. It is, the company's name is the Hydro Cup. Yeah, the Hydro Jug. That's what it is. They're not a sponsor. I just thought I'd give them a shout out because I really like the cup. I carry it around all the time. Oh, man. Who's in the chat? Steve Wallace in the chat. What's up, Steve? My mom. She said twice in 1 week. Steve said, yeah, boy. We got BM Cringe Master over there. He said donut time. He's over on Instagram. If you guys are on Instagram, you're like, the motherfucker never talked to us over here on Instagram. The lives suck. You're not wrong. It's harder for me to keep track of that because I use a program called Restream. And Restream puts all of my stuff together. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. I feel like I'm missing one. YouTube. Puts all of those together. And it puts the chat on there, but Instagram and TikTok will not allow me. I'm sorry. TikTok and Instagram will not allow Restream to show the chat in their program yet. So we'll see if those updates happen. But until then, it's harder for me to keep track of the chat. So if you really want to increase your odds of me seeing your chat, come over to our YouTube channel. That's where we're trying to direct everybody. LinkedIn is a little wonky. I know sometimes I can see the comments. Sometimes it comes up as LinkedIn user and I can't even see who you are. So there's still some bugs to be worked out. Is what it is. Nick the Gun Guy, what's up? He goes, guys, like, follow, and subscribe, share the show. Thank you very much. I love doing these. I love the little quick pop in. We'll knock out a quick hour, chat with everybody, see what everybody's up to. It is an early Friday for me. I actually took a family day today from work. So if my work cohorts say, well, you're supposed to be at work right now, you're not wrong. I am supposed to be at work, but my daughter has her high school. She's a senior this year and she's got to paint her. It's a tradition at the school to paint your parking spot. So dad had to go get all the paint, get everything lined up. And then we're going to, when it gets dark out, or much cooler, because if anybody knows Texas, parking lots get super hot, especially in August. It's probably already 100 out anyway, and it's going to be 120 on that pavement. The paint will dry quick, which is nice, but we will melt. So it's got to be a nighttime activity, and I want to do that with my daughter. She's not going to be in the house much longer. You know how it is. I try to be a good dad. But Steven and our guy, what's up, guys? Nick, what's going on? Ario's in the house. Well, you ain't seen Ario in a minute. What's going on, Ario? Eric JT71 said, sent Unk alert. I love it. I said, you know what? I got the grays. I've earned the Unk. I'm good with that. Is what it is. Okay, so updates. Let's see. Updates. I did all my analytics. We are absolutely killing it over the last 5 years, guys. I'm gonna actually pull that up. I kind of mentioned it, I think, on the last stream that we did, but I want to mention it again because I'm actually pretty proud of what we've accomplished. Listen to this. Listen to these numbers. So I punched everything that I've done over all of our platforms that have analytics. So like on Clapper, I know maybe some of you guys follow Clapper, which is like the American alternative to TikTok. I've got 70,000, 71,000 followers over there. Community members, partners, if you will. I don't know what you guys like to be called. I don't want to insult anybody. But I took all of the analytics. Like Clapper doesn't have analytics. So that's my point, is like some of these platforms do, some don't. But out of the ones that do, we've got 50 million organic views in the last 12 months. 50 million. That is insane. 50 million organic views the last 12 months. We've reached 40 million unique people in the last 12 months. We have 105 million plus views, lifetime views, across all of our platforms. Let's see. In the last 12 months, we've gained another 280,000 followers across all of our platforms. We're about at 100,000 downloads for our audio, for those that like to just listen to audio. And we're spread out over 129 countries. So, and we're sitting at over 500,000 community members. I'll put it that way. So holy shit balls. That's a lot. Today I wanted to talk about the 18-year-old female that got pulled over and punched by an Arkansas state trooper. It seems to got people up in arms. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is the Autopilot Tesla that a guy got pulled over in and tried to blame the Autopilot for the speeding, not himself, which is a unique argument that I assumed would have already been made, but apparently this is the first one that's really gone viral. So my mom said, wow, good job, son. Thanks, Mom. Mom's always got my back. She's always supporting. Rumble Ridge said, killing it, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, we are, for an unk, it's not too bad. I started this 5 years ago. If you're not familiar with the mission was just to bridge the gap between police and the community. And doing that through education and through my training and experience, which is my copsplanation. And I wasn't sure how I was going to do that. I knew it was going to be through education in a way, but some opinion obviously gets in there. A little bit of speculation gets sprinkled in from time to time. And we've built a pretty good community doing all of this. So pretty happy with what we got going on so far. I am sporting my retro rifle shirt today. A little t-shirt action. I know you guys are used to seeing me in my Hawaiian shirts, but that's what we're doing today. A little shout out to them. Retro is really not even a sponsor anymore, but I still love their brand. Hey, Retro, if you guys ever want to renew that sponsorship, hit a brother up. Okay. And to be honest, guys, the reason I wanted to kind of flex those numbers is for sponsorships too. We're hurting. I don't like taking our community members' money if I don't have to. But this stuff does drain the pocketbook every week. I mean, we're talking upwards of $1,000 to $1,200 a month. So there are bills to keep this thing going. Been very fortunate that we've been able to get sponsors, and you guys have been able to help keep this going. I hope you like it. I hope that's why you keep dropping your hard-earned money, or at least dropping follows and sharing the platform. So thank you guys, because that's how we got to where we're at. Anyway, if you haven't seen the video, I'm gonna pull it up here. I'm gonna pull up the Tesla video first, because I find it interesting. Let me share the screen. We are pulling that guy up here. All right. Let me turn the volume.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
A little fast.
I wasn't driving. That's a self driving autopilot, sir.
You're in charge though, so I need to see your driver's license.
I'm in charge, but I wasn't driving. So
Doesn't matter.
Like
You're in the driver's seat. You
I'm
can
in
pull it. You can blame the car all you want, but
how can we sort out this problem, sir? I wasn't.
do you have a driver's license?
I do, sir.
The car doesn't have a driver's license. I need to see your driver's license.
But I can't get like anything like involved because this wasn't me, sir.
Sir, I need to see your driver's license.
Yes, I can give you driver's license.
Okay.
But first of all, I'm just
No, not first of all. The first thing I need to see is your driver's license. That's the number one thing. All right, sir. I did write you a ticket for speeding, 64 and a 45. I'm not sure how this whole thing works, but it's not the first person I've stopped that's been an autopilot. I don't know why they decided to speed, but there's no way the speed limit here is 65 or whatever it thought it was. It's only 45.
So like, is this happen? You telling me that this is not the first time that you pull over with the Tesla?
Yes.
So how do you figure out in the car?
How I figure out what?
How do you figure out in the court when you talk to the judge or when I'm talking to the judge? How I'm going to figure out? I wasn't driving.
It doesn't matter. You're completely in charge of the car.
I can't
You were driving.
No, sir. I was here.
You're missing the point. You are driving.
I'm not
whether
driving.
You turn
this
it
is just driving, and I was sitting
Sir,
here.
whether you turn it over to the car doesn't matter. You're still driving. You can say the car's driving as all you want. The judge is not going to play that game. You were driving. If you choose to trust the car...
I need to see your supervisor, please.
Sir, this is your ticket. On the bottom is a complaint number. If you want to talk to my...
I just want to speak with this.
Well, this is your copy.
All right. I think we've seen enough of that. Interesting. Let me stop sharing the screen here. Interesting take. So ingest that for a second. I'm looking over at the comments. I'm going to try to check Instagram. We got nothing right now. Over on the TikToks, we've got Just Bearded Tim. He's saying, what's up? It's one of my mods, guys. Make sure you guys give Tim a good shout out. He's been helping out the channel for quite some time. He is an OG of the channel. BC Scanner, thank you for doing nothing right now instead of destroying people's lives today. Well, you're welcome. That's always a good way to start. I don't like to destroy people's lives, so I don't know how I would be doing that. Let's see what else we got. Oh, BC Scanner again. I'm an in real life streamer with a Starlink, and I pay way less than that. Typical cop full of lies. Okay. Well, let's break it down here, BC Scanner. I have my own studio. I know you can't tell. This is not a green screen. As you can see. This is not a green screen. This is not a room in my garage. This is a completely separate studio in my 1 acre yard. So I have that. I've got a AC unit out here. I've got fiber cable running out here. I've got several editing programs I use to include CapCut, full Adobe, what do you call it? Adobe Creative. I also have my ChatGPT that I use the shit out of, which that's $100 a month. What other stuff we got? Everything I do, I have to store. So I've got continuous storage that I got to pay for. Constantly getting new gear and equipment for the show. We have to, let me see, what other stuff do we have here? My Buzzsprout, which I have to pay for. That's my distribution for my audio. Let's see. I'm looking down here. Luma. I pay for a Luma account. So yeah, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes with this stuff. Restream itself. I pay for the pro version. Using Restream. That's another monthly cost. So there's a lot of things that go into it. You may be an in real life streamer, but perhaps you just don't do as much as what I do. Everybody's got, there's streamers that pay a lot more than I pay. Is what it is, bro. Haters gonna hate. But yeah, we all have things. You are right. But yeah, nothing to hide there, bro. But good luck with what you do. I appreciate you reaching out. Neptune, autopilot means you enabled it and set the cruise control. Oh, yeah. So people in the other comments are getting all over the TikTok guy here. So let's go over. So you got the Tesla that got pulled over, and he is claiming that he's not driving, he's using autopilot. And the key word for me, legally speaking, is he's saying assist. What does cruise control do? It assists. What is the braking system and all that stuff, like the sensors when you get too close up on somebody's butt or when you're on cruise control, like it will slow you down and speed you up for the newer vehicles. That's an assist. Autopilot is not a true autopilot. It is an assist, just like the guy was saying. So, and when we're going to talk legal speak, assist means it's helping you drive, not the other way around. So Attack Cop was, what are we talking about? Talking about this Tesla on autopilot gets pulled over for speeding and then claims he wasn't the one driving, the autopilot was. So he can't possibly be to blame for the car speeding. So what do you guys think? Eric JT71 said, Eric, just so you know, the UNC thing is a gift you can send. Oh, I didn't even know that. I am an UNC. See, that's hilarious. My bad. Officer, dispatch, I need to arrest a Tesla. Send a tow truck. Yes, exactly. I could hear that over the radio. It'd be hilarious. I want your supervisor. He's at the ICE center. Can you take him? Oh, Jesus. Steve Wallace said, how would I work if the car is fully autonomous and the passengers are not in control of the vehicle or the car? That's true. That's like a Waymo. And so I think you actually would have an argument there. But a Tesla doesn't have that. You don't have the same respect yet. It's coming. That's the thing. That's part of this conversation. That stuff is coming. And I like it. I mean, I make a joke about this. I'm putting a reel about this probably either tonight or tomorrow about the same video. But the joke I made on the video was like, back in the day, cowboys used to ride their horses drunk home. Horse knew its way home. That was your first autopilot. I just tried to take a drink and the straw was bent. So if a horse could take you home, what's the difference between that and what I would consider a much smarter Tesla? So you got that. Let's see. I would also, like right now, I think it's even put out there. Let's do this. Let's run a little Chat GPT check. I'm going to ask this. Chat GPT, I always call it by its name. Somebody's trying to call me. I'm on a live. Sorry. Chat GPT. What does Tesla say publicly about their vehicles driving in autopilot? Is the car in control or the driver? Let's see what it's got to say. So I would imagine Tesla has not released anything yet saying that the Tesla is capable of driving on its own all the time, like a Waymo. Amanda Novak said, good evening. First time catching a live. Yeah, I don't normally do a live this early in the daytime, especially during the week. But here I am. I had some time. I thought I would jump on. Don't forget the YouTube memberships. Yep, thank you. The driver engages it. Yep. Okay, so ChatGPT said, according to Tesla itself, the driver is in control and remains responsible. Tesla does not publicly describe autopilot or the current full self-driving supervised system as autonomous driving. Tesla currently calls FSD an advanced driver assistance system and explicitly says does not turn a Tesla into a fully autonomous vehicle. The driver must remain fully attentive and prepared to intervene. That's from Tesla's own mouth, according to ChatGPT. So I'm going to go and venture to say that the cop was right in this one. This guy has to be in control of the vehicle, but it's coming. It is coming. And I think that's for the better. I think, what was that movie with Will Smith? iRobot, where all the cars basically drive themselves. I think it's probably going to be the safer, better way to go in the future, because you're taking the human error out of it. You should still be monitoring it, but at the same time, I think it'll be better drivers. What do you guys think? Do you think that will make you a better driver? Do you think it'll make driving better, make the driving experience better? I think it will. You won't even have to worry about a fast lane, because they're all going to know where each other's at, and they're all going to be able to travel at I would say probably a much greater speed with less risk. I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm kind of a tech guy, so I'm jumping back over to the TikToks. Bearded Tim. Let's see. Eric, Tim's talking. He said, yeah, we teach people that too. Eric calls out dirty cops. Yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, this is not a cop echo chamber. We call out bad cops. We highlight good. Like, for instance, this cop here, I'm not a ticket guy. I don't do traffic stuff. But if he did have a guy speeding egregiously or whatever, I don't feel like he was unprofessional. I felt like he handled that call just fine. So Edward Mismus said, iRobot was a wonderful movie. I agree. It was great. It was before Will Smith fell off, right? Dude went nuts. Anyway, I think we pretty much covered that topic here. Let me go back to my Instagram channel. Home. I go to my videos here because I don't want to be showing other people's videos and getting yelled at. All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm getting a video up for you. Let's see here. Okay. I do want to talk about one other video before we get to the main one, the big one. I'm going to pause this and I'm going to share the screen. Instagram, share. Okay. I hope you guys can, let me get a better. No, that's not a very good. Let's try this one. That looks better. I hope you guys can see. No, you can't see all of that, can you? Let's try this one. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to play this one.
You be arrested for jumping into a lake.
Yeah!
What?
No, you can't take my camera.
As evidence.
You cannot take my
Yes,
camera.
sir.
No.
Yes, again.
There's no reason for you to take my camera.
I'll stand as evidence. Go ahead. I'm happy for you.
No,
But
this is too expensive for you.
I don't care. You have to give me your camera now. It's evidence.
Sir, you are under arrest.
What for?
Dangerous.
Dangerous games?
Correct. 3319.
Okay.
All right, quick rundown.
Dangerous Games 3319 in California, apparently. A lot of people were trying to tell me that video was out of Nevada. It was not. It was out of California. It is a real video. It was not clipped together like so many people think because he's in a different outfit. The cops actually allowed him to change clothes. However, you guys have heard me talk many times preaching to cops, is the juice worth the squeeze? End of the day, you just arrested somebody for jumping into a lake. What are we doing? What are we doing? Officers, what are we doing? I don't care. The argument was made, well, it's a state park. They're trying to keep it nice. The dude wasn't jumping in there with a bunch of oil all over him. He's on a rope swing, y'all, that was already there. He didn't even put it up. It existed. We had a boat that had at least 2 crewmen in there. That was DNR, Fish and Wildlife or whatever. And then you had at least 3 to 5 other cops that were landside. So that's another 2 or 3 vehicles involved. So think about the cars, the gas, the boat, the personnel, and you arrested him. You took him to jail. All for what? Why couldn't that? Okay. Not that I agree with this. I don't agree with it. It shouldn't even be a ticket. Shouldn't even be a ticket. But let's say it is. Let's say that let's say that's an option. Why didn't we just write a ticket? Why are we It's not just today. It's not just all the money that you wasted today. Because let's say the tickets, let's say it's $1,000. Let's say it's a big fine. Like, that's a pretty hefty fucking fine for jumping in water. How much money do you think the state just cost trying to enforce that? Dangerous games. I've never even heard of that. You guys hear me say that in the reaction video. I never heard of that. Apparently it is a real thing. I was on the fence of believing that this was even a real video. It turns out it was. We had more people show us the full length versions of this. And I haven't even gotten into the confiscating the camera as evidence, which is another constitutional issue that I have with this whole thing. But something that a lot of people, I'm a very constitutional oriented cop. And officers, I need you to listen to me out there. You have to be constitutional oriented police first. That's what you swore your oath to. So if you're going to do that, one of the things in there is what? Pursuit of happiness. There was no victim in what this kid did. Now, caveat, he gets hurt. He interferes with somebody else and causes somebody has to come help him. Okay, now we can charge him. Like, bro, you did something dumb. You did something dangerous, a dangerous game, whatever you want to call it. And it actually led to something. Like, bro, you dismounted perfect. Like I said in the video, clap for him. That was badass. Like, just so you know, like you could have gave your warning that way. Hey, bro, do your thing. If you get hurt and we have to bring an ambulance and stuff, take care of it, you're getting charged. I think that that's fair. Now you're causing the state to have to spend money to come out there to respond and do some shit. But why? Even if somebody said, do we know if there were signs posted against the action? Who gives a shit? I mean, I don't care. There's plenty of things. There's a video, one of the very first videos I ever really started doing reaction videos to. There was a guy eating a sandwich on the dock, and this officer was trying to ID him to write him a ticket, and I think it turned into arrest because the guy's like, I'm not giving you my ID for eating. The guy was eating a sandwich on a pier. And I don't know the whole full story behind it, and it was posted that you can't do that. Come on. What are we doing? You have discretion. That's the other thing. You had discretion on this. Now, this wasn't regular cops either. This was like Forest Service guys or whatever the fuck they are. Like, the juice has to be worth the squeeze, y'all. Like, when people say cops earn the hate, like, this is one of the examples they're talking about. Why? I don't think you would have gotten nearly as much of any pushback on this had you wrote a ticket. But the amount of resources that you just wrapped up to make this arrest, and now you got to go down to jail, and now the jail employees are going to have to get involved with this, so you're eating up more manpower issues and cost. And now court time, now you're eating up. This is day one. We didn't even get to the court. And there's probably going to be like some preliminary hearing because the guy's going to fight it, and then they got to go to court again. So we probably got a minimum of 2 court visits. And he's going to have to take time off work for it. Now, granted, don't get me wrong. I'm with you. He made the choice. And it is against the law. Fair is fair. I get it. Doesn't make it right. Like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And at the same time, he's got to take a little bit of ownership because they warned him. You can hear him over the loudspeaker. If you do it, you're going to be arrested. So he knew. He made a big boy decision. I'm glad he sent it. That was pretty cool. I don't know what he does. So maybe it's a social media thing. Maybe it helped him get some followers, views, sponsors. I don't know. So with that said, officers, if we're going to take a lesson away from this one, for me personally, unless you can share with me another perspective I'm not considering, I'm always willing to amend how I think about something. I'm not married to everything. Now my moral and ethical things, good luck changing that. But at the same time, we got Long Island in the house over here on Instagram. He said, name and badge number. Too funny. Yeah. So for me, man, like let people pursue happiness. Like that's what that was to me. It didn't affect anybody. It didn't hurt anybody. It was out in a public place. Well, I think that's considered a public place. That's where the national forests and lakes and stuff do kind of confuse me. I know they're not quite the same and they have some different rules, but again, juice worth the squeeze. Pursuit of happiness. If I choose to jump in a lake, it's me pursuing my happiness. It's not hurting anybody. If it does hurt somebody, then that's when we can throw those charges out there. I think that's fair. I don't know. What do you guys think? I kind of feel that same way about drugs and alcohol too. Like, I don't think that you should necessarily get charged just because you have some drugs or alcohol. You should be charged if you commit a crime and you are under the influence of drugs or alcohol. That should be an enhancement. If you go and commit a burglary, it's a 3rd-degree felony. If you commit a burglary while high and drunk, or both, or one or the other, then it enhances the charge. I think that's fair. Because that means you can't handle the thing that you know is going to impair your judgment. And that should be an enhanced punishment. I don't know. Just these are the thoughts of Levine sometimes. No different than choosing yourself to jump a ramp on a bike or a motorcycle. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Attack Cop says, 2 cops, 1 donut. It was a transit cop writing a ticket for a guy waiting for a train and eating a sandwich. Yes, that's what it was. You remember the one. If one person can do it, then anyone can do it. I don't disagree. Again, we let people jump out of airplanes. We let people do weird shit all across America. That's what makes it America. And you guys see me posting the meme quite a bit under things like this, where it's Randy Marsh like getting arrested for fighting at his kid's baseball game. And he's like, I thought this was America. I'm sorry, I thought this was America. Like, same shit. Thought this was America. The Living Dead said that was just stupid. Cali Rain Studios, the phone seizure everyone is mentioning, I'm assuming it's in reference to the guy who had Graphene OS installed. Does anyone know if the cop had a search warrant when they were demanding his password? I don't even know what we're talking about. I would even argue that just because they have a search warrant and they're demanding your password, plead the fifth. You don't have to give up your password. Don't make it easy for the government to investigate you. Mr. Billfold, do what you're legally required to do. Legally, you have the right to not self-incriminate. So if you think giving up your password will incriminate you, don't do it. Mr. B, what's up? You guys know my advice. Shut up. Don't talk to the cops. Don't do it. I tell my own family that. Don't talk to the cops. Now, it's a judgment call. If you know you're not involved with anything and you feel like you're helping, talk to the cops by all means. But if you feel like you're being investigated, don't talk. Tat Cop said, yes, remember to subscribe to our Discord. We do have a Discord channel. If one of our mods could pop that up there, if they haven't yet today, pop that Discord channel up there or go look up 2 Cops, 1 Donut Discord. Love your response to my speculation. Just was curious. I'm curious too. I don't know. I haven't even heard of that. Welcome, Mr. Billfold. Currently talking about the guy jumping into the lake via large rope swing and getting arrested for it. Yes, that is what we are talking about. Oh, man. Let's look over at the TikToks. Bearded Tim's over there. Retired FTO. What's up, brother? We got to get FTO on the live. We've talked to him before. But yeah, we got to get him on here and have a little chit chat with him. Centurion Tactical over on TikTok. What's going on, brother? BC Scanner said, there's nothing the government won't destroy you for. We live in a police state disguised as freedom. I don't know if it's necessarily a police state, but I do always feel like it's getting better. But you guys know me. I'm an optimistic guy. I'm an idealist. That's my fatal flaw. It is what it is. Everything's rainbows and rose-colored glasses for me. No, they didn't need a warrant. It was a border custody situation at an airport. The cops said it was a search for CSAM. Yeah, they may not have needed a warrant for why they wanted in the phone, but as far as do you have to? No, I don't think you ever have to. That's their job. They have the burden of proof, not you. Marine Blood, one of our awesome mods, by the way, guys, said, Eric, that situation was a guy coming back into the U.S. and had an OS that wipes his phone. They insisted he unlock his device, and he gave them the password that triggered the kill switch. Oh, shit. Yeah. You're better off, like my advice to anybody is just turn your phone off or don't help. If you do anything that gives a command to destroy things, now you can be charged with destroying evidence. Of course, that's the risk you take if you think that the evidence is going to put you away for life. I don't know what this guy was into. But he was an American citizen, according to Cali Rain Studios. So if he's an American citizen, he's got American rights. I really don't know what the laws are or how it works for people that are not citizens and the Constitution rights. Like, I don't know how that applies to them. Again, that's not something I ever have to deal with just as a local cop. I'm a low-level guy when it comes to federal stuff. So I don't know how that works. I'm not going to lie. Do you have any thoughts on the Lindsay Clancy case? Lindsay Clancy case. I don't know what that case is. I guess I could check real quick. Give me a second. Let me see what the Lindsay Clancy case is. Lindsay. It's one of those things I probably have heard of it. I just don't recognize the name. Lindsay Clancy case. We'll let ChatGPT do its thing, and I will let you guys know what I think and if I know anything about it over there on the Instagrams. For those that don't know, if you're on Instagram and you're on TikTok, like, it's harder for me to see your chat. I highly recommend you jump over to our YouTube channel. That always makes things a lot better. Okay, so back to the rope swing guy. Now let's get into the, can you take that guy's camera? The person that committed the offense did it alone. He had an audience. They can be his friends. They cannot be his friends. We don't know. But I would argue that you need a warrant to get that guy's camera as evidence. No different than if a store had a video camera system on the outside and you know that it's seen the offense. You don't have a right to that. Now, if it belonged to the guy that jumped, that committed the offense, then yeah, I would say you have a right to it. But you can't articulate that you think that this guy was going to destroy the evidence. All you got to do is get his name. You are required, because now he's a part of the criminal investigation. So you have a right to figure out everything that's going on. You have a right to detain these guys. But as far as getting that evidence, you got to get a warrant for that. So that's how I see it. I could be wrong. I'm not a lawyer. Y'all know that. Cops are wrong all the time. Centurion said, I saw Steve on Izzo's channel the other day. I don't know what Steve we're talking about. Okay, the Lindsay Clancy case is a major murder trial happening right now. And the central issue is postpartum psychosis and criminal responsibility. She's a mother, former labor and delivery nurse, charged in the deaths of 3 children. Plymouth County jury indicted her on 3 counts of murder and 3 counts of strangulation. Holy shit. I don't know nothing about this case. So, the real fight in the case, there isn't much dispute over who killed the children. The fight is over whether Lindsay Clancy criminally responsible when she did it. If she choked him, yeah, she's responsible. Sorry. You can have a psychotic break. You're still responsible. I still think you need to go to prison. You killed children. Sorry, your brain malfunctioned. That sucks. Prison. It may take the death sentence off the table, but sorry, prison. Those kids will never get to defend themselves. Never have any. They got to have other people speak up for them. That's what we do. You'll get no sympathy from me on that. So is what it is. Oh, Steve Ladner. Self-proclaimed hero. Love it. Yeah, but Attack Cop said the question is the FBI was already investigating him, fruit of the poisonous tree. He was activist on a watch list. Well, being on a watch list doesn't mean you're guilty of anything. I mean, you've always got national security as that's a whole other thing. Take a little sip of Gorilla Mind. I'm drinking the candy apple flavor. It is wonderful. It's a nootropic, y'all. Hey, Gorilla Mind, if you hear this, your boy, he likes it. Let's see here. Heather said, I agree on that. I think we're talking about the Clancy case or whatever that lady's name is, Lindsay. Yeah, she need to go away. Let's see here. Steve Wallace must have been that other Steve. Yeah, it's not the good Steve. It's the annoying Steve. Lacey, what's up, Lacey? We got Wade in the house, Living Dead. Man, we got a lot of people on here for just some random ass chat that I decided to do. It's pretty good. We got over a full classroom size minimum. So if you're over there on the TikToks, I think the thing I'm supposed to ask you to do is hit the like button or hit the hearts or something like that. I don't know. Hit it. Yeah. Let's see if we can get 50,000 of those hearts. I don't know what that does for us, but let's see if we can get it. I saw Long Island do it the other day. He was like, let's see if we can get 200,000. He had like 200,000 in 10 minutes. It was so easy for him. I got 1.1 thousand over on TikTok. I think a realistic goal is let's see if we can get 10,000. See if we can get that. See if we can get that motherfucker up to 10,000. Let's go. All right. We are at, we got actually more people than normal on Instagram. Okay. So we talked about the Tesla Autopilot stuff. You're responsible for that shit. You don't get to use Autopilot as your fall guy for your car speeding. It's no different than an actual real autopilot, guys. Think about it. Autopilot for a plane. If you're flying an airplane and you're using autopilot, which is where the fucking term came from, guess what happens after that? If that plane veers off course, does anything, do you think autopilot's going to be the one that gets blamed? I'm not even saying if the plane goes down. Like, let's say no, it's still on the pilot. So you're no different in a car right now. The only exception is for the vehicles that have been pre-approved, Waymo, for being able to do that. Let's see. Bearded Tim said, I am not tapping that screen much on TikTok, and I'll explain the lives over there later for you. Okay. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know TikTok at all, guys. I know it's a very worthwhile platform, but it's very hard for me to even grow TikTok with the content we use. They're so protective, I guess would be the word. They nanny. So a lot of stuff gets taken down that we do. So I don't fuck with it that much. Okay. Let's go to the video that I originally wanted to talk about. I am going to pause it. Okay, so backstory is an Arkansas state trooper pulls over an 18-year-old female, and she's got alcohol, open containers in the car that he can see. So you got an on-view offense. She can be arrested already. She's underage. She's in possession of alcohol. I'm going to let you watch the video, but I'm trying to explain to you what I see in here first. I hear her say, I stole it from my grandma's house. That's probably not in your favor either. And when she goes to sign the ticket, this is speculation. This was on the screen. I didn't write this. It was on the screen on the video that I got. So I don't know if it's true, if the audio was added later. So these are like speculation things because I haven't heard anybody confirm it yet. But it sounds like when he says, I need you to sign these tickets, she either slaps it out of his hand, throws it down, And that's when you hear the response of the officer, like, I guess you want me to take you to jail. So without further ado, let me share the screen. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we want to switch this around. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do like this. Oh, geez. None of it looks good. I hate Instagram for showing these. I guess we'll just have to go like that. What happens if I do this? That doesn't help. That did not help. Anyway, okay. Click.
An 18-year-old female gets punched in the face by an Arkansas state trooper.
Why do you have a Tito's bottle? You're not even 21, are you? You're gonna catch a couple of tickets. All right. So right where it says signature, I need you to sign. And you trying to go to jail, ain't you?
Sir, what did I do?
Use your left hand real quick. Do not look. Do not resist. Do not resist.
I need to call mama.
No. Stop.
Sir, what am I doing? Oh, no.
Stop.
You think, oh my God, this is illegal.
One
I need
resisting.
to call my mama.
I don't give a. Turn
I
around.
didn't even do
Turn
shit.
around.
This is illegal.
Turn around. Turn around.
You cannot punch me.
Turn around.
I need to call my mama.
Turn around. I'll punch you again if you don't turn around.
You cannot punch me in my face.
Who said? Say who?
Oh, my mama.
Who said I can't punch you in your face?
This video was sent in my
Okay. Let's go. Okay, let's discuss, shall we? And again, I've been reserving my judgment on this one because there's a lot of factors in it, and I can see both sides of the argument on here. So let me cop-splain first. I hate doing that to y'all, but let me tell you what I'm seeing as somebody that teaches or used to teach control tactics for cops. Legally, can we arrest? Yes, we had on-view offense. Officer wasn't going to do that. He was going to write tickets. The officer's behavior up until the use of force, I would say his voice was very calm. I didn't feel like he was overly excited. I feel like he was trying to get her to comply. He's telling her to turn, and she kept trying to turn on him. So all of that does not go in her favor. Some other factors to consider. Troopers on the side of a road. If he ends up getting into this long, drawn-out fight, it could spill over into oncoming traffic. So you got a safety concern. And I have told you, and we've had Von Kleem, who's force sciences, like poster child for use of force and the science behind it across the nation, where we've talked about hesitation in drawing things out longer ends up becoming a larger use of force. And I've told you guys before, sometimes the quick, hard thing to do is to act immediately versus him hawing around. And then you end up tasing, you end up using pepper spray, you end up using a baton, you end up going to your firearm. So all of these things are possible, things to consider. The officer didn't use any of that. He goes for the takedown, which is normal. That's a normal takedown. There was nothing excessive about that takedown. It's just, it is what it is. It's a takedown. Even after he's got her on the ground, he's still very calm. That's not a person that's in an emotional state. And that's the point I'm trying to get at. A person in an emotional state, you're going to hear him screaming on the radio. So I don't think that and then he hits her. He throws a punch after trying to get a rollover, trying to talk to her. He's in a mounted position. You guys know I'm not a big fan of closed fist strikes. I'm not against them. For me personally, and the grappling background that I've had, I'm a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I've done jiu-jitsu since 2006. I am not currently a practicing jiu-jitsu guy. I've been out of the gym a little while, but done it long enough to get my purple belt, and I drop in on rolls from time to time. So I'm not completely out of the game, but I'm not consistent enough to belt up right now. Let's put it that way. So for me, this is why I take grappling so seriously, because I see myself in that position and know that I wouldn't have to throw a strike. But that's a different debate. The debate is, should he have thrown, is the strike excessive? It's tough for me. I got daughters, and I just see it on both sides. I see both sides of this. As a dad, oh my God, I would want to destroy this cop. But we can't think emotionally about it. We have to just deal with what we had in front of us. Took her to the ground. Was that justified? I would argue that it was probably the right move to do, because if you let it keep going on, it's going to escalate into something much bigger. And that history is on the side of that. A larger use of force will come with that if you let it drag out. So it didn't look good. Use of force never does. But he was trying to use words. It wasn't like he got amped up, started yelling in her face. He was trying to get her to comply and turn around and do what she was supposed to. Hell, he was trying to let her go with tickets. So you got that side. Attack cop, Ben Crump en route. Yeah, you're probably right. So I am just trying to share with you my perspective. I'm not taking a side, just sharing my perspective. I'm cop-splaining at the moment. We'll get past the cop-splaining in a second, I promise. I promise. So things to consider. He decides to strike, right? Closed fist strike. He does it once and he assesses. He didn't repeatedly strike. He didn't call any names. He didn't do anything like that. He struck and immediately started trying to move into a rollover technique, which is how you're trained. I didn't see him violate any training. It just goes into a moral and ethical issue of a man hitting a woman. That's what has got a lot of people riled up. Her age has a lot of people riled up. If it was an 18-year-old man, what would you guys say? And you notice I'm saying woman and man. She's 18. She's an adult. So she's old enough to vote, old enough to sign up for the service. But unfortunately, that prefrontal cortex and decision-making and rationalization is not fully developed. I don't know how quick girls, I think girls are around 21, 22, and guys are a little later. That's why we're more immature. I still think mine's around age 14. So yeah, I am torn. I see both sides of this. I see both sides. And I haven't really, this is why I push on cops so much that you need to take your grappling seriously, because you can still do all of these things in a controlled fashion versus having to throw a strike. Strikes never look good. And that's another problem that we have, is how things look. We get more wrapped up about how they look instead of deciding, was it reasonable? And if you've never been hit in the face, there's that. The punishment said, yes, it's excessive. In my eyes, she wasn't a threat, period. There's a difference between being a threat and being a problem that could be dangerous. She could have been, and she was not 120 pounds, but she could have been 120 pound female. She was more than that, but she could have been 120 pound female. I'm 5'11", 195. Like, somebody that doesn't want to be handcuffed is not easy to handcuff by yourself. It's not. But he was in a mounted position. I felt like he was in control enough. Things to consider. Maybe we rushed it. So I get what you're saying, punishment. Maybe she wasn't a threat at that moment. Was it necessary? That's a good point. That is a good point. But also, it's easy for us to say we're watching a video. We're not in the moment. I don't know what he felt. Maybe he felt like she was wiggling free. Maybe she was grabbing his nuts. I don't know. We can't see it. So there's that. Callie Rain said, my daughter is 20 years old, and I have always taught her that if you put your hands on anyone, you better be prepared for them to come back at you. Just because you're a girl doesn't give you an excuse. Okay. William said, I bet she's done that before. Rumble Ridge said grappling and wrestling can go a long way in establishing control while on the ground, no strikes thrown. I see, that's where I lean, and I'm biased, so it's really hard for me. This is why I get upset with cops. If you don't take your grappling seriously, you end up doing stuff like this that could have possibly been avoided if you would have taken your career a little more serious and prepared better. So, over on Instagram, DRRT Oak said, I think it's a female. She said I think she's trying to say she initiated physical aggression. Everything around you can become a weapon, which oncoming traffic, we did address that too. So these are factors. So this is not a clear cut, it was wrong, it was right, in my opinion. This is why I didn't want to make a decision yet. I want to hear other people's perspectives and try to make a better educated thought process on this. Because I don't know the right answer on this one. I don't. Again, like I said, I think that cop in his reaction was not emotional. It was very logical. It was calculated. The takedown was good. I agreed with it because he pulled her away from traffic, put her on the ground. She kept turning on him. He is alone. And again, sometimes handling stuff quick, fast like that it prevents higher uses of force. And so that's something to consider. It could have prevented that from being worse. That's where we're at. The punishment said yelling ain't illegal though. No, yelling in itself is not illegal, but turning and hindering the arrest process is. And that's what she was doing. So that you can't argue that. It was in the video. I am all for holding cops accountable. Shit, you guys just saw me rant for the 40 minutes about them arresting a kid that did a rope swing into a lake. Completely ridiculous. There's no reason that kid should have been arrested. And if you're new to the channel, go to my history. Like, I will call a cop out in a second. However, he had every right to arrest this girl, and her not keeping her hands behind her back, trying to turn. You could see her. She's flexible. So she's turning all the way around, and she's almost facing him while her hands are still being manipulated. Like he's trying to get her to turn around so he can cuff her. And she is hindering the arrest process. You can't do that. Your time to argue is in court, not on the side of the road. And my guess, because she had that alcohol, and this is what I'm curious to find out, was she drunk? Did she have alcohol in her system? Could have been a factor in her decision-making. So, Callie Rain said, I think the punch was a bit far, but the takedown wasn't excessive in my opinion. Yeah, I'm kind of in there too. There's no reason he shouldn't have been able to get her handcuffed after she was on the ground. That's where I disagree. Listen, play a game at your house. Find somebody that is, I don't know, however big you are. Okay, let's say I'm almost 200 pounds. I'm not quite there yet, but we'll round numbers. Say I'm 200 pounds. Find somebody that's 50 pounds or more difference, or somewhere in that range, because that's probably what we had in this video. It was about a 50 to 80 pound difference. Just tell them, I want to just try to get your hands behind your back. Don't let me. Try to do it as safe as you can. I'm telling you guys, it's fucking hard. And I'm good at grappling. Like it's not easy. The scrawnier and more wiry a person is, the harder it is. The inflexible guys, the bigger dudes, like I have an easier time getting their hands behind their back. So, Eric Whitson, I agree that this is not easy, and a ton of police interactions are not easy. I feel it could have been done better. It does appear that nothing was per se out of policy, but it looks bad. I think that's one of the fairest statements we've seen. It is not, it could be, everything could always be done better. And that's why I like to have these conversations. How can we improve? Well, for this officer, one of the things that I would like to improve, like look at the Gracie survival tactics system that is for police. There's a thing called gift wrapping. Gift wrapping. And it's a go-to move in a mounted position. And essentially, I'm going to try to demonstrate the best I can. When the arms come up, you're trying to get a person's arm across their body like this. And then you would reach underneath from this side and hold their hand here. And you just hold. And and you can't go anywhere. It's a gift wrap. And then from there, you can get them to their side and you can get them into a cuffing position, or you can just hold what you got and wait till you get some backup. He may have been in an isolated area. But like Dirt Oak over on Instagram said, there was no glee in his tone. I don't feel like he was celebrating what he did. He knew what his use of force options were and what's allowed per policy, and that's why he was saying like, yeah, absolutely, I can punch you. Because if you watch the full video, she's trying to tell him like, you're not allowed to do that. And he's like, I absolutely would. Dave B130 said gift wrap or seatbelt. So yeah, the seatbelt position is it's an under over on the arms, or with your arms like under and over their arms, like a seatbelt would be, but you're controlling them from their back. So for instance, what the officer could have done was go from a gift wrap, turn them over on their stomach, take back control, and sit in a seatbelted position, which is a great position for control as well. I like gift wrap because you're controlling their hips. You know that they can't access anything if they have a weapon or anything like that, which I don't think that's the case here. But yeah, absolutely one of those things. Steve Wallace, one of our OGs, said, could he have prevented the takedown and the punch if he just slapped her as soon as she felt her resisting? Possibly. But I guess my argument would be, I would have thought, and this is me, like in my experience, a lot of times, even on the takedown, like the takedown alone makes people go, oh my God, this cop's like really, really serious. I'm going to comply now. Like it wakes people up out of their bullshit. So, because she was on her bullshit, his bullshit took her to the ground, and I would have assumed that would have been enough. I would have thought she would have just rolled her. Oh shit, okay, he's for real. I don't, put her hands behind her back, but she didn't. She still continued to do her bullshit. So, Fistriel said, policing is a shitty job. It can be, for sure. Front row tickets to the greatest show on earth, though. That's why I like it. Tim's jumping over on Instagram as well. He's like, I'm over here, too. Shit. Looking over on the TikToks. No, I don't see anything new on TikTok. Mr. Billfold said, the optics aside, I feel that this ability to transition from a takedown to control was sloppy, and he resorted to the blow because he lacked training and muscle memory for holds. Agreed. That is a beautiful way to put this. Agreed, 100%. And this is why I get on cops for their grappling ability. Yes, I lean towards Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because our job is to take people into custody as safely as possible. At the end of the day, it is protect and serve. And even if you shoot a bad guy who was shooting at you, what do? We go and we render aid. So if I'm going to use control tactics, I want to do it the best way I can. Carlos Ramos, I actually know this feller. He said, as a Texas state trooper, I was always alone at all hours unless I was training somebody. So yes, that is a factor to take into this one. I haven't read all his comment yet, but it takes a while for troopers to get back up. Reaction time can cause you your life, and I was not going to lose my life out on the highway. My main objective was getting home safe at the end of every shift. Fair statement. That was over on LinkedIn. But Carlos, I'll push back a little bit. Part of the problem that people have, and one of the things I'm seeing is you've got a cookie cutter state trooper, a big, tall dude that has a position of advantage. Again, I don't think a lot of people are debating the takedown. So the takedown, it was, did we rush into the use of force? Was him not going home really a issue at that moment? I don't believe it was, based on what we see, but there could be factors that we don't see. That's why it's always dangerous to try to Monday morning quarterback these situations. So that's why I'm not doing that on this one. I'm just trying to give perspective, and listen to y'all's comments and agree. Again, this isn't a mutually exclusive decision y'all have to make on this. You understand what I mean? Like, you can agree with both sides. It's okay. I can see both sides of this one, more so than most. So that's why I'm having a hard time, because I can see both sides. I'm of the opinion, like, I'm a dude, I've never hit a woman, ever. I don't want to say that it should never be done, because there's instances that I've seen where I'm like, I understand why you did it. I've just never run into that situation. So I won't say I won't ever, but it's unlikely. But that goes into my training and my experience and my abilities and my confidence in my training. But Ramos he's got a great point. And and who better to hear it from than a person that does a job? I just popped his comment back up there because he's not wrong either. And like I said, the longer you let something draw out, the higher that propensity for something really bad to go, it goes. What if she got squirmy and got away and got back in her car and took off? Now we're in a pursuit versus a takedown and a punch. Now it involves everybody, the public. And everybody's going to be like, dude, you're so much bigger than her. Why'd you let her get back in the car? Yeah. Wade said, very hard to escape with little effort from being on top. Yeah, mounted position is pretty good, especially if you're a bigger person. Bigger than the person that, if you're bigger than the person that you're on top of. I couldn't get that out. Let's keep going here. I'm looking at man. We already hit our hour. I didn't even realize this went better than I expected. Carla said, today's game's a lot different than when I was a Texas State trooper. The rules are different nowadays. Very true. Very true. Somebody's laughing at Attack Cop. What did he say? U.S. Infantry, crybabies when taken down. Please don't call my CSM. This guy, Kyber Commander. These hands are rated E for everyone. Love it. Wade Lucero said, sitting on a fence right down the middle of the gray area. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That is one of the reasons I made that special. If you guys haven't caught it, I do have a special that I put out occasionally called The Gray Area. I haven't done one in a while because the next one I'm doing is on tech and policing, and it's going to be longer than 15 minutes. It's probably going to be its own little special, and I want to get it right. With that said, let me tell you guys what I'm working on currently. Y'all know I'm associated with the National Real-Time Crime Center Association. I love it. One of the things that we do is we help develop the best practices and stuff like that. They are not associated with Two Cops One Donut at all, but they do allow me to have my freedom of speech. So one of the things that I'm currently doing as an individual and presenting it to them is tech best practices in general. So any of these things that are in policing that we use and has a serious ability to be that big brother and can be abused. I'll tell you what I did. I went and I watched Tucker Carlson's special. I watched John Oliver's special, which even though I know he's a comedian, he made a lot of great points. Tommy G, I watched his special. I watched Ben Jordan's special. I took all of the points that they made, and instead of being that typical, like, well, this one's wrong because I'm not trying to disprove them. They weren't wrong. They were right about a lot of things. So I wanted to take all the points of concern and try to figure out a way to prevent them from happening again. Not in a cover-up way, but in an accountability way. And so I've got about an 80-page document for best practices that I've created, and I'm going to try to make a national standard to improve this. So all of these departments that are trying to implement these things, they're going to be held accountable according to this standard. And by having these standards out there, and once it's done and approved and all that stuff, I'm gonna share it with y'all. I want y'all to see it. But my mom said Tucker Carlson. Bleh. It doesn't matter if you like him or not. The investigative journalist side that they did some really good work, and so I looked at that. But I don't know if the tools are going to be there, if they're not going to be there, if they're going to get taken away, legislation is going to get rid of them, or if they're going to continue to let them be there. But until then, I need to do my job to make sure they don't get abused. And if they do get abused, that there's real accountability. And I need to create systems in place that are able to find the accountability without somebody just tripping over it on a Freedom of Information Act. I want to get them the moment it happens. And that is what this is designed to do. So, with that said, please be patient with me. I will let you know when I get that out there, but I am actively trying to do something on a national standard. And I've got a really good system. I think I'm waiting for the board to read this and check it out and tell me what they think. And the idea, what I want to do with it, once it's in place, once it's good to go, is now we can do a scoring system to all the departments across the nation and say, okay, here's our standards. This is what we think. And based on these standards, here's where you score. And the score lets them know where they need to improve, where they need to fix things. And it's got some universal rules. And one of the major universal rules is you do not deploy any of these techs until you have these policies and procedures in place. And then that way the accountability starts the moment they even think about putting something out on the streets. So I think it's really good. And here's another thing that I really like. I'm knife handing, guys. I'm super serious right now. I just subconsciously knife hand. Here's another thing that I really like about the tech, and I want you guys to consider this. You guys see in the news all these people getting busted utilizing Flock improperly and getting criminal charges. That is the beauty of the tech. It is an easier way to catch bad cops. So even though you might not like the Big Brother aspect, which I don't like that either, think of it as an easy way to bust cops. Because I don't want them ruining a good tool. But if we can catch them easier, quicker, faster, let's fucking do it. Because it's a smoking gun. There's no guesswork. You've got your unique identifier, your login. There's nobody else to blame. You do this shit. You get fired. You go to jail. I think that's the way to go. I think that is the good side of having this tech. The work that needs to be done is having these checks and balances in place that audit appropriately instead of auditing manually. And I think traditionally that's been the problem with this tech is the auditing has been manual. And I want to give Flock credit. They created an AI auditing system. That is why you see all these cops getting fired. This AI auditing system it's revolutionary. I think it's going to change the way policing sees this technology stuff because there's no hiding it. It's not, some sergeant was going through the logs and looking through and seeing if anybody violated and we investigated ourselves and we found nothing wrong. Nope. Now those audits are flagged and you can't hide them. So as soon as those Freedom of Information Acts come out and they see this stuff, holy cow. That's what's been happening. That's why it's been the way that it has been. So a little nugget for you guys. So I hope you guys like that. But yeah, that's all I got. I got to get my daughter's stuff ready. We got to go paint her parking spot. She texted me while we were on here, like, are you busy? So let me go handle that. Everybody, I appreciate you. If anybody donate, I didn't see any donations go in. If you did donate, I'm sorry if I missed it. But if you do decide to donate or do the super stickers or whatever I don't know if that UNC sticker costs money. If it does, thank you very much. All the money you guys donate to the show goes directly back into the show so we can keep doing what we do. This show would not be where it's at with the 50 million organic views in the last year. It wouldn't be where it's at without the community. Our community is what makes this show so awesome. So I thank you very much. Everybody else, thank you for your time. Over on TikTok, I appreciate you guys chatting with me. BC Scanner, I hope we won you over a little bit, brother. And let me see over on Instagram, BRRT or Dirt. No, it was Dirt Oak. Thank you for chiming in, having some conversation with us. Everybody else, have a good day. And I will see you Sunday. We're going to have, oh shit. I just started calling somebody. We are going to have Jay Bandy on from Beyond the Thin Blue Line. And he is a cop that, a retired cop. He's got a tattoo across his forehead. It's kind of cool. That he calls it like it is. He's like me, guys. It's good stuff. He's a good dude. He's doing some good work. He's just getting started because he just retired. So I want to get him out there, and I want you guys to start following and liking him too. So Sunday, 8 p.m. Central. I'm sorry, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We will be live. I'll have you guys back on here, all these platforms again, and continue to make this community great. So, all right, boys and girls, take it easy.